I would never, if there, I think I said this yesterday, if there are more than 6 people, I'm standing, because I want to be in control. And that just says I'm in control.
So I didn't make any changes to this from yesterday. There's some changes that I would make. Yeah.
Well, don't tell us about it, just don't talk about it.
Good story.
Never mind. Never mind.
Tammy, would you move this one? Thank you.
Who's what about?
All right, hey guys, thanks for coming together. We're gonna go through the performance for May for Econ. I know that we get together every month and it does get a bit repetitive, but there are some really good nuggets of information here that we're gonna share with you that hopefully you find as exciting as I do. So we'll hop in and get started.
I'm sorry, I have to stop you.
Sound very excited.
Yeah.
No facial expression?
Well, there were a couple of clues there. One of them was your hopefully. Hopefully you'll find them as exciting as I
It's, yeah, I mean,
Okay,
it's not
take
exciting.
Think puppies.
Puppies and ice cream. Puppies and ice
So don't
cream.
pretend like it's
Yeah,
okay.
don't pretend. What's
Puppies
the
and
other
ice cream.
word? I hope you'll find this as
Interesting.
useful.
Useful.
Informative.
Yeah.
Informative, right.
Okay.
Helpful to
I
how you
would
do
never
it.
say that it's exciting during the meeting. I don't know why I did that here.
Or what did we say yesterday? Like, if we all know it's the same meeting every month, right?
Right.
So we all kind of don't want to be here either, so.
But there's some good
Not
stuff.
just saying.
Yeah, but you did a play on it yesterday, right? You
Yeah,
did
yeah.
more of a play on it yesterday.
Announce it.
Like, there's some good stuff I want to talk about.
Right.
Hey guys, thanks for coming together today. We're going to go through the Puma Ecom performance for May 2013. I know we get together every month and go through this pretty much the same information, but there are some good pieces of information in here that I hope you find informative and, take this, I'm just adding words at the end.
All useful except the I hope.
I hope, right, I was gonna say the same thing.
Because if
I
you
didn't
don't know
I
and you're
didn't
not
even-
sure that it's gonna be useful to me, then I don't really wanna see it.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it said that.
Just tell me it's useful.
Yeah, exactly.
There are useful
It's
pieces of
useful.
information or interesting.
You were so great up until then, and then you threw in the I hope.
All right.
Important.
Key.
Hey guys, thanks for coming together today. We're going to go through the main performance for 2013 for e-commerce. Really appreciate everyone coming together. We're going to go through some information here. I know that it does get a bit repetitive, but there's some really good pieces of new information in here that you'll find beneficial.
Bingo. That's a keeper.
So first slide, like we normally do, here are takeaways from last month. First 5 bullets on here are all done. Everyone followed through on those. So I'm going to skip to the last 2. We've got a Puma.com analysis that Tom was going to provide. We've also got a Canadian P&L that you were going to provide, Neil. If you both just want to quickly update us on where those are at, that'd be great.
Do you know, in fact, that Tom's prepared to do that?
Yeah, I do.
And they both are, it's just part of the deal.
Neil is not prepared to do his.
Okay. What will you be doing with Neil?
Giving an update on where it's at.
Well, right, but what will you be doing with him when he says, no, actually, I'm not ready to do that now?
I'll say, okay,
Okay.
so
Talk about
let's
it next
review it
month.
next month then.
Oh, that sounds so wishy-washy. How does he relate to you?
He's a VP.
He's in charge of finance for retail.
Oh, it's a different,
So more senior to you.
Correct.
Call somebody on the carpet that's more senior to you. Yeah, for me, I would say something like, okay, can we expect to see that? And certainly before the next meeting.
Why don't I ask him a question? Why don't I say, do you have a timeline for when we can expect? I mean, I don't want to put it.
Okay, when can we expect it? That's good.
do you follow up with him before you?
Oh, yeah, I
Do
send
these?
tons of, I mean, it's not like this is a surprise.
Right.
So we get out of this meeting, I send, these are the follow-ups to the whole group. Then I send follow-up emails to the people that have follow-ups and say, hey, here's the date I need those by. Then 2 weeks before I need them, I say, hey, those are due in 2 weeks. Then a week before, I say, hey, that's due next week.
So maybe,
And you still don't get me.
so maybe Neil shouldn't be part of this presentation anymore. I mean, no,
Still
if,
can.
or maybe he should have somebody else prepare this information, if it's something you need on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And the other thought I'm, yeah, which is, the answer is
It's
no.
it's just Canada, though, you know?
Just
They don't really
Canada.
need a budget.
We went 2 days without a Canada joke, man. Good job. We went 2 days without one. Good job.
So, is there anybody in the meeting that can hold him accountable?
Oh, absolutely.
Who's in the meeting that can hold him accountable?
Cyril, Philippe.
They're present in the meeting, and Neil is okay with letting it be known that he's not ready.
He's like, I guess.
We already did this meeing, and
Ah.
he was okay with, he was like, yeah, I'll give it at the next meeting.
And you haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh dear.
No, you don't need it.
Can you prepare it?
No.
No, no, I mean, could I do it? Yes, but I don't have what I need to do it.
It
The
would
security
definitely-
clearance.
Okay.
Is it essential to what you do?
No, I mean, it's not essential to what I do, it's something that they've been asking for, that he's supposed to do and hasn't
Right,
done.
right.
But that's
Yeah.
not your fault.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
my fault, but I'm the
I
one
don't
that
wanna
has to
spend any more
facilitate.
time solving this.
I'm
Right.
the one that puts it all together and facilitates.
Right.
I'm doing pretty much everything in my power to facilitate with this, aside from holding hands and saying, let me sit down while you do this work. I mean, it's up to him to negotiate with his team who's gonna do it and prepare it, and then give it to me so that he can speak to it at the meeting.
So then maybe it's that.
I mean, I guess I could have a conversation with him face to face about it and say, what's up, dude?
Get this off my
I hadn't thought about that until
Do you
now.
do you just communicate with Neil for the information, or do you communicate with people from his team as well?
No, just him.
I'd send it to his team. Then.
I don't wanna, that would be overstepping my boundaries.
Yeah, definitely, but you might suggest to Neil, you know, it looks to me like we just don't have time to complete this assignment. We
Right.
really need the information.
Who else can
you
do
put
it?
in
Right,
charge?
right.
But throw that at him, so whoever's a year above, say, look, I'm really getting hammered by so-and-so,
Right,
can you
that's
help
what I
me
was
out?
gonna say, right.
If there's somebody else I can reach out to help
Right.
us.
I actually have a good relationship with him, so I'm probably gonna actually just walk over and talk to him about it and be like, hey, what's up with the what's up with the Canadian P&L? And it'll be fine. We have a good relationship, so I'm
Okay,
not concerned
good.
about like
Okay,
calling
so
someone.
We could
enough
have better.
said, next slide.
Yeah, I'm saying we're all here, right?
Huh?
Buckles and away we go.
Bring Neil in.
Where's he gonna comment? Neil to the
Yo,
running
Neil.
room. Neil.
Neil's in the room, he's not on it.
So we've been having this
He's in the
conversation
room.
about
Yeah.
you, Neil.
He's in there.
And what does he say? That's what I want to know. What does he say?
Next month, end of conversation, I'm sure.
Yeah, shuts it down before you even get started.
Being a similar meeting, yeah.
He's like, yeah, we'll get that next month. All right, so next slide, this is our gross to net performance. We can see that on a gross basis, we were down slightly. We did see improvements in fraud as well as cancels, which improved our net revenue. So we were actually up in net revenue, much higher. Yeah, this is a turd. Let me start over.
Dude, you had huge improvement in fraud cancels.
Do you have another one that looks like this? I think further on, because we saw this one yesterday. Oh, that's delicious. Let's have that one.
You want that one?
Wait, tell it's a finance meeting.
Oh my God.
Please poke him.
Okay.
Let's get some poking going on here.
Okay.
You're gonna open it up for us.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tammy.
Tammy, thank you, I forgot that. When will you open this up?
What's that?
When you
Will
gonna?
you open this up? We came in, so.
Yeah, I mean, normally I understand the point, and I will. Normally during the meeting, everyone just hammers me with questions the whole time, so.
Okay.
So you don't need that
So I don't
exercise,
usually
okay.
open up, I'm just used to getting tons of questions.
Okay, we'll do that too.
So this slide is our demand metrics KPIs. see demand revenue was down to LY 8.4%. Traffic was up to LY. All of the growth here came from email as well as our Puma.com traffic. So those were the big increases that we saw, whereas the revenue decline came from our affiliate channels. So we had a tough transition from affiliate partners versus last year. The affiliate partner that we're actually working with decided to close their doors and gave us 1 week's notice. So that was a bit of a challenge this month. We have successfully transitioned to a new affiliate
So
partner.
well, the conversion's down in the month to date by 19%. I don't get it. A year to date, it's -8. What were the months that were so bad? How can you justify that?
So conversion was down this month primarily because we saw a lot of growth in the mobile and tablet channels, where you see a lower conversion for the devices, as well as an overarching decline in conversion. So
But how does that translate to the year to date of being 7.2 with that?
we saw very strong, I'm not reflecting on.
Right, yeah.
Can you do it again?
Yeah, so it's 17% month to date. How do you make sense of that year to date? It's drastically different. So clearly there's some months in there that were, the conversion rate was very different.
No, you're fine.
So you're saying there's some months where we saw very different,
So
you're saying there's months where
you're
there's,
saying, so you.
I don't know.
Cool, you go ahead, just say you. So you're
You.
saying you,
Just have
rather than
concerns.
so you're saying, all right. You,
What?
You have concerns that.
Right.
you want to know more about those numbers.
You want to know
about the
more about the
monthly.
months that are different from this one?
Bingo. Yeah, I mean, it looks to me like if you got that kind of discrepancy, you got some real uptime in other months.
You're saying other months were up quite a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's going on there? Yes. You can stop reflecting now.
Yes, there were other months that were up quite a bit. We went over those months earlier this year.
We went over those months ago.
You are correct.
Oh, snap.
Listen, you know, traffic is up 7%, marketing is busting your ass to get people in and looking at the website. Why aren't we converting?
You're asking why we're not converting on the site?
Yes.
That's a great question.
Thanks.
The biggest increases that we've seen in traffic are coming from devices that don't convert as well. So your laptops as well as your desktop computers convert at much higher rates, whereas the increases that we've seen in traffic have come from other devices such as iPhones, iPads, that convert at much lower rates, bringing down our total conversion. So where we've seen an increase in traffic,
Can we create an app
create an app. We
to
could
make the conversion rate better?
Creating an app, so you're saying you are asking if we can create an app?
Yeah, why can't we create an app to make the conversion rate better?
You think if we create an app, conversion would be better?
I think if we make an app, the conversion rate would be better.
Just say yes.
I know, I wanted to go one more time.
Well, but he did, but
Yeah, I
when you,
know.
when you reflected the first time, he did say yes.
Yeah,
Then you
that's
reflected
true.
again.
Exactly. I've trained you too well. You kept talking, and then that wasn't a direct yes.
Yeah.
When they're saying the same thing or agreeing with you, it's okay to answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a yes.
Okay. Yes.
No,
Yes.
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 You answer the question.
We do have it within our capabilities to create an app. Unfortunately, we don't have the budget right now to do something like that. And from the research that I have seen, creating an app isn't necessary to increase conversion on those devices. It's more important to have devices that
Well,
are,
what are you gonna need to create an app? What's that gonna cost us?
you want to know what it's going to cost to create an app?
Well, now, there would be parroting. Meaning, you said exactly what I said. So what's it gonna
Okay.
cost us? Yeah, it's.
That's a good one.
hard
How
to-
do you- yeah,
that's a
yeah,
hard
how do
one.
you
So
repeat
what
that?
I would do is read into that more and say, you're concerned with how much it's going to cost to create an app? I don't know where you're going with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's why you're reflecting, which is really great.
Mhm.
So you're worried about our budget, or
Mm.
the concern is, does this fit in next year or the year after? You know, I'm making this up because I don't really know what your
Yeah, sure,
department's
sure.
concerns are.
We're just make-believe right now.
Yeah, yeah, so you say what you say. So, yeah, in fact, I mean, if it's gonna be, I wanna know what it's gonna cost, because if it's gonna be a minimal amount, maybe we can squeeze that in this year. I really want us to have an app. I think that would be very exciting, don't you think? In terms of traffic. I mean, we could bring in a lot of folks if we had an app, right?
You think we would bring in a lot more traffic to the site if we had an app?
I do. I think that would be a useful way to get conversion.
By saying I do, is that a yes?
Absolutely.
What if I don't agree? I mean, I don't know how to go into that, because it's not really a decision that I would make, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even be having this conversation.
You have Philippe in there, right?
Correct,
He's
but-
capable of saying to you.
Correct, but an app is gonna cost millions of dollars to create, and unless you have a very strong following, most people aren't gonna use it, they're just gonna go to the website instead, so
So say
it's
that
not
to me.
necessary.
You know, if I'm a Philippe and I really want to know, I'm thinking, that
He would-
might be a really great
Sure.
idea. Give me your point of view.
Sure.
So you've got me to yes now, you've reflected me. So now say your point of view
Sure.
without disregarding or disrespecting my point of view.
Sure. Creating an app is an option. I don't believe it's necessary based on the way that our current site is created. It's completely scalable to the iPhone as well as the iPad, so it's already very user-friendly. We haven't seen any issues with it. At this point, I'd say creating an app isn't a smart investment.
Okay, I love that. You were able to state your opinion, you didn't quash mine, you were respectful, and gave me a good answer. Short, too, which is great. Yeah. Ask him one more question, or give him feedback before he does. How are you finding this reflecting? Let me ask that first.
It was difficult for me to start doing, but it feels okay.
Yeah, in exercise, you were spot on. You know, when we were doing the exercise, you were reflecting beautifully. I think for you in practice, what gets in the way is so you're saying is, so you're asking,
Yeah.
all that stuff, just get rid of that and start with the you.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, you're spot on.
Okay.
Began to sound parody, that you'll hear your answers. Pay attention, yeah. Feedback, what are you seeing you like?
Facial expression and everything, tone is good.
How's the volume?
Solid, how's the boy here? I mean,
Yeah.
is this
Do
amazing?
you know how painful it is to really see?
Yeah, there it
They
is.
look great, they're great.
Yeah, it looks terrific,
Mhm.
it really does. This strong, yeah. Other?
I think the pauses are good,
Nice.
especially when you like look back to look at the numbers.
Mm.
So things to think about as he goes to see this tape.
This monotone,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but just, it feels like almost like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you're up now right before lunch, because lunch isn't here. And it's too late to have anybody else go between now and lunch. So how about a drill?
Sure.
Can I just, sorry?
Yeah.
I felt like I got a lot of eye contact. I
Yeah.
don't know if everyone else
Yeah.
felt the same. I know
Yeah,
I
okay.
asked a question.
I mean, I know I'm in the
Okay.
corner, but I could see.
But I didn't
I
necessarily,
got it.
Yeah.
I got that a lot.
because I felt like
Shoulder
when I felt
out.
great about it, but there were
Good.
times where I looked around and I was just like, oh, am I only getting eye contact? But, okay.
Are you saying I'm kind of
You seem nice and feminine.
So
So drill?
let's try, yeah, and I don't know, this may do it or not. What here are you excited about showing us? What here do you have passion around the reason why? What here is, wow, look at that figure? Maybe it's not this slide, maybe it's another. Okay.
Average sales price is
Give
up.
us another one.
That's good.
This is a good one.
Traffic up.
Well, so this would be a question where when someone questions the traffic numbers versus the conversion numbers, it's showing that I've already looked ahead to answer that question because I had the same question. So when you go through the presentation and what I should have said, but I haven't done this for a while, so I forgot that this was in here. When someone starts questioning the traffic number and the conversion number, say, that's a great question.